Hi, everybody. My name's Emily. I am the voice behind Luminous Beings. I'm the owner. I do all of the meditations, all of the affirmation videos, etc. And I am so excited to be starting this new video series that I'm going to be doing on the law of assumption, talking and breaking down some of Neville Goddard's teachings. Law of assumption absolutely changed my life. I got into these different manifestation techniques through the law of attraction, but it wasn't until I learned about the law of assumption that I really started to see huge benefits and my entire world started to change. So I love sharing the information with people, and that is why I'm going to be starting this series. If you're looking for more in-depth, hands-on type of work on law of assumption, definitely check out my website, beluminousU.com. I've got courses, I've got group programs, I've got one-on-one coaching. I just love helping people learn how to actually use all of these different techniques in the best way possible. So I was listening to one of Neville Goddard's lectures called How the Law Works, and there were several different components that I pulled out of it that I wanted to talk about with you guys today. Hopefully you love this, and let's get started. Now, you need to remember that the law of assumption is impersonal. It does not care whether you are thinking good thoughts or bad thoughts. Whatever you are focused on is what you are essentially going to get back. Now, I want you to keep in mind if you had a long history of having very negative thinking patterns and you're in the process of kind of reprogramming so that you're going towards things that feel a little bit more favorable for you, don't beat yourself up if you see some chaos happening in your outer reality. Because even in this specific lecture, Neville Goddard talks about how what you're seeing at the current moment is the byproduct of past beliefs that you had. So you may see kind of like a little bit of a purge taking place. That's completely okay. The best thing that you can do if that does happen, remain calm, remain faithful, and don't give up and stop. That's the biggest piece of the puzzle. Don't get frustrated and go, well, this doesn't work. When I truly started buying into it, even when things looked like they were going chaotic and crazy, that is when things started shifting insanely for me. So, Neville talks about in this lecture whatever is appearing, as I just said, it's a reflection of previous activity in your own consciousness. So if you are so focused on those favorable thoughts, eventually that's going to start to build and build and build and show up in more positive ways in your environment. Now, what I want you to do and keep in mind is that it's up to you to change and look at and really dig deep into your beliefs and decide which ones are working for you and which ones aren't. Because a lot of the times, as kids, we pick up stories that aren't the best for us because we're seeing these outside things happen to us. And from those experiences, we pick up the stories. And, this happened to me very much in my childhood. I picked up a lot of negative stories that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy, I didn't deserve good things. And so for a long time, that followed me through my life until I started learning about these principles, digging deep into my belief system so that I could see where I maybe needed to shift a little bit and going from there. Now, Neville also talks about in this lecture that what you perceive of yourself is a reflection of an idea that you hold. And it's only going to exist as long as you focus your attention on it and give it life. So I wanted to talk a little bit more deeply about this one because it's something that I saw change in my relationships with my friends, family, and romantic interests. And so for a very long time in my life, I held the belief that I was annoying, right? I was a bother. If I even reached out to talk to somebody, they just didn't want to talk to me because I was annoying. And I would say that constantly. I would be like, I know I'm annoying. I know I'm getting on your nerves. And then I would actually be taking physical actions that would get on people's nerves because I believed I was annoying. I was actually being annoying. And then one day I was like, this is stupid. Why am I doing this to myself? So I decided I was going to go through this process of flipping my belief system. And so I did it through ask formations, using mirror work and stuff like that. So I would look myself in the eyes in the mirror and I would be like, girl, people love to spend time with you. People love having you in their lives. You're always feeling welcomed and just appreciated wherever you go. And I would repeat that over and over again, even when it wasn't showing up on the outside. I was still dedicated to that process of repeating, and it wasn't robotic, it wasn't forced. It was just like, okay, this is part of my routine that I do every day for 5 minutes. And because now I know I'm worthy, this is something that is important to me. So it's something that I'm going to do. My relationships with people shifted insanely. I mean, I had people from the past that would like stay away from me, that thought I was like so awful and annoying, that totally shifted their behavior towards me. It happened with friends, it happened with family. Like I said, it happened with romantic interests. And then also, anytime I meet somebody new, like I'm always making new friends and feeling really welcome and loved. And what it took was that shift in my own belief system and the dedication to want to reprogram my own subconscious beliefs. So taking that belief of I'm just annoying and nobody wants to spend time with me, and deciding this doesn't work for me anymore. I want to be the person that people love to hang around. That's something I want to embody. Um so keep that in mind. If there is something that maybe is like that for you, it is shiftable. It just takes, as I said, some consistency, persistence, dedication. Um, Other things that Neville says in here, which is really very interesting stuff. He was saying that creative thoughts are the ones that actually do, obviously, the creation, the manifesting. So what does he mean by that? He says not all thoughts are creative. Only ones that you believe to be true. So if somebody calls you annoying but you don't believe you're annoying, you're not going to think like, oh, I get on everyone's nerves. That's not going to be a big deal. But if someone calls you annoying and you actually think you're annoying, you're going to latch on to that thought and you're going to see it outplay in your reality, right? Also, anything that you give feeling to, deep feeling to, and that does include negative stuff like fear, anger, frustration, also includes things like joy and love. Those are creating or creative thoughts that actually will play out into your outer reality. So that's why it's very important to discriminate against your thoughts. And he literally says, just like you wouldn't just let a random stranger into your own home, you want to be the same way with your thoughts. And nobody's saying that you cannot have or feel negative emotions. You totally can have or feel negative emotions. But the thing is, don't get attached, right? It's like, okay, this sucks. I feel angry. I'm not going to ruminate on that anger. I'm not going to let my mind spiral, spiral, spiral. I'm going to say to myself, oh, I feel this anger right now over XYZ. What can I do? Can I do anything? If I can't do anything, then I have to just accept that this is what it is right now. If I can take action, then I do take the action. But it's all about not letting yourself stay there. Okay, so I hope that makes sense because I don't want people thinking I'm pushing toxic positivity because we all know how important it is to process your emotions. If you don't process them, they can get stuck in your body and they will wreak havoc for you for years down the road. I am somebody who has been through that so many times. So that was another really important thing that I thought you should know. It's not every thought that you have in your brain is going to play out in your reality. It's the ones that you really give, I don't know, credence to, the ones that you really buy into. And again, as he says, these are thoughts that you either like believe are true or that you give feeling to. So, one other thing that I thought was really cool that he talked about, he was saying that, if you have feelings of love and joy, that's going to create happy events, loving relationships. If you feel abundant, you're going to bring in riches. And then he says, a person who is unloving or suspicious and feels that others take advantage or draw of him, excuse me, he draws himself that what he believes, no matter what he does externally, because he has that belief, right? That people always take advantage of me. So it doesn't matter externally what this person does to try to not be taken advantage of, because that belief's going to continue to play out until you dig deep and look at the belief and decide this belief doesn't work for me anymore. I'm going to shift my focus to a belief that feels better and more favorable. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes it can take time of persisting and staying consistent before it starts to show up. But if you're able to power through it and remain calm during the chaos, you will see this stuff play out in your outer reality, and you will think it is absolutely incredible. You'll get to a point where you will not be surprised when things just naturally work out for you anymore, because that's just how it is for you. So I hope you like this little breakdown, and I'll be trying to post one every couple of weeks for you guys. And yeah, have a great day. If it behooves you, check out my website. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.